Hello and welcome to West Wales Karting Virtual Racing today here at Oulton Park Island, a 2.24 mile 7-turn circuit where today we will be using the classic touring cars from the 90s and a variety of cars for the drivers to choose from today. We've got Skylines, Mercedes, BMWs and crazy Cosworths out there as well, and it's going to be a very exciting race indeed. And on pole position today we've got Alex CDL in the Skyline. He bagged pole with a 1:26.9, which was way ahead of his nearest rivals, Chris Doherty and Scuderia Sam. 0.03 of a second separating those two, but they were back in the 1:28s. And then D-Man starting 4th, Stuart Davis in 5th, Unfixed Drone started in 6th position, and Big Bad Wolf in the Cosworth is starting in 7th. So they're lining up on the grids now, and we'll see how they get on. And waiting for the green lights here. And it's go here at Oulton Park, and it's a poor start from Alex CDL, and he gets swamped by two Mercedes either side of Scuderia Sam and Chris, and they're both into the lead side by side into turn 1, and Alex is down into 3rd in that blue Skyline, and D-Man 221 is up into 4th ahead of Stuart Davis, and Unfixed Drone 6th, and then we've got Scuderia Sam there fending off Alex CDL as they go through turn 2. And now they're going down into the hairpin, so we'll see who comes out here. It's a hard braking zone this is. And Big Bad Wolf's looking in the outside inside, but he's lost control. He's on the grass and slams into Stuart Davis, and he's caused a roadblock there with Unfixed Drone going off. And there's other drivers off too. That's Alex CDL, our pole position man. He's off in the Skyline on the exit, and he's doing a bit of donuts now. And they're going down the back straight, and that's allowed Chris Doherty and Scuderia Sam to get a little bit of an advantage on the rest of them here, a bit of a jump, and there's Stuart Davis making up ground, and we're looking at a replay here, Stuart.
Yeah, that's a chaos at the start there. It's Stuart Davis coming in the orange BMW, and Big Bad Wolf, there he goes, says not today, thank you very much. And I'm assuming there must have been a few banana skins chucked down the track there somewhere, and here's D-Man 221. What happened to him with Alex CDL? Alex runs a little bit wide. First out, the tyres should be up to temperature off the start line, but I think it's just Alex run wide. He's gone to take the position, and just didn't know D-Man was there, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment there, Stuart. And this is Big Bad Wolf. I think look, he gets on the grass there, and then he just loses control completely, and then takes out half the field with it.
Lovely job, brilliant. He's funny note, he managed to apologise to the drivers he hit there about 4 times before actually making contact, so you could definitely see it was coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Those drivers would have been knowing what was about to hit them, literally. And oh look, there's Chris. Chris Doherty has gone off whilst in pursuit of Scuderia Sam, and now he's reversing back onto the circuit. Are they all going to get through? No, look, Unfixed Drone slams into him, and then he gets rear-ended as well. Absolute carnage here.
Oh, there we go, and Stuart Davis and Unfixed Drone side by side into the last corner. This is, amazing, this is for 2nd place now. And round they go there. I'll tell you, I certainly hope Scuderia Sam's run out of banana skins to keep dropping now, otherwise these two will be off again at turn 1.
Yeah, I don't think you can fit any more bananas in that boot of the Mercedes.
No, it's like a Mario Kart there. Sam, he's away now. He's 11.8 seconds in the lead. So, very good lap for Sam. He's characteristic of the way he seems to drive. It's always the same, whether it's PKC, Project Cars, or any form of racing really. And here's Alex CDL making a move on Unfixed Throne as they go down towards the hairpin. Nice clean move there.
I think the good thing from Alex's point of view, in a way, is that at least everybody else has had incidents too, apart from Scuderia Sam in front, but at least he's been able to pick his way through the field quite nicely because of that.
Yes, he's phenomenally equipped in that Skyline from qualifying. Obviously it's part of the DLC package that's not available to everyone, and here he is having a look on the outside of Stuart Davis going into the chicane, and Stuart holds his line there, and round he goes. He's the only BMW in the field at the moment, and certainly you can see it handles a lot differently to the Mercedes. The back end's getting kicked out quite a lot there, and here's Alex, 2 wheels on the grass going up the inside, and there's a bit of the crest of the hill. I think he's got the move done. There we are, nice and simple. I don't think Stuart's going to fight that one too hard.
Yeah, I think that was just simply a case of too much power there coming out of the corner up the hill, and that Skyline you can see there, the power making the difference. Stuart put up a stern defence though, didn't he, for a few corners, but now that allows Alex CDL back into seconds now already, So now he's going to be in hot pursuit of Scuderia Sam. It's 12.5 seconds separating them at the moment. So as long as he keeps that skyline on the track, Stuart, I think he's got a good chance of catching him.
Yes, yeah, he did say it was a bit of a truck in the corners. Yeah, through qualifying, following him around, you could see he was definitely kicking the back end out, lots of tyre smoke. And here we are, here's two drivers, D-Man 221 and Chris Doherty, both from Ireland, and for the coming GT5 championship have actually teamed up as teammates, and yeah, running identical liveries today as well. And yeah, Scuderia Sam out on his own, no more banana skins to drop, and
he must be
looking very comfortable there.
He must be wondering where on earth everyone's gone.
Yeah, a few technical issues there possibly. Everyone's left the session, except Sam.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe you'll just catch a glimpse of them on the circuit map, which the drivers have in the corner of their screen whilst they're racing, and see where the cars are around about them. But Alex CDL hasn't got any cars around about him at the moment, because he's pulled away now from Stuart Davis in third, and he's actually not caught Sam on the last lap. Looking at the timing there, still about 12.5 seconds separating them, although his lap time was a bit quicker. So anyway, we'll see how the progress is there. But there's Team Island, look, oh no, and part of Team Island are off on the grass. Oh dear, that's not good, is it? That's D-Man 221.
No, he's lost a lot of time there, positioned to unfixed phone as well, and where's Big Bad Wolf? He must have had an absolute mare of the first couple of laps.
There he is.
There he is. Oh, on the grass, yeah, rallycross as always.
I think the answer to the question of where's Big Bad Wolf is normally just look at the grass and he'll be somewhere there, or the gravel, doing some fan favourite activities. And there's D-Man 221 now coming into the pit lane at the end of lap 3 there. So he's decided to make an early stop. Of course, mandatory pit stops, one each per driver in this race as always. And there's Chris Doherty now, and he did a fantastic lap in qualifying, just to pit Scuderia Sam by 0.003 of a second. And he had a really good start as well. He was into the lead when they went into that hairpin before the carnage ensued. But he just went a little bit deep in that hairpin, and then he lost control, so that's put him back into fourth. Otherwise, he could very well be up there in the lead or fighting for the lead.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And there's two wheels on the grass there. So Stuart is pushing hard and going completely sideways there. He hasn't lost too much time, but he'd be more miffed about losing the position now, I think, because Chris, he does have the legs over Stuart at the moment. I think that BMW doesn't quite have the pace of the Mercedes, but I know that obviously Stuart's playing on a pad, and he's definitely in various different races in all the various cars. He has complained of struggling to get car stops, so if the brakes aren't quite as good as he would like, he really does struggle. So sometimes he is limited by what car he can actually get slowed down for the corners.
Yeah, because I think the general consensus amongst the drivers, of course all these drivers get to practice with all these different cars, apart from the Skyline, because that's a DLC pack, beforehand, and then they choose which car suits them best. As we see also, who is that in the pit lane? That's Chris Doherty. But they get to choose what cars they want to race with, and I think Stuart there's just decided that the brakes are a little bit better on the BMW, which was a general consensus, than the Merc, for example. And you can see not many people have chosen the Cosworth apart from Big Bad Wolf, because it was a bit of a handful.
Yeah, well, Big Bad Wolf, he actually was a little bit too busy to put much practice in for this race, hence his lowly starting position. I think he sort of went for the Cosworth just to mix it up a little bit and just see if he could get his head around it. It could have been a diamond in the rough, but unfortunately for him, it's not working at the moment. 35 seconds off the lead, hasn't made a pit stop yet. So yeah, I got a feeling he's certainly not going to be featuring at the front or bothering this man here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, Stuart. But I bet he's going to have a lot of fun in that Cosworth anyway.
Yeah, I think we've all seen how much fun he's been having.
Yeah, the Crazy Cosy, Big Bad Wolf and the Crazy Cosy. He is in fifth at the moment after a couple of drivers have made their stops, and we're looking now at Scuderia Sam in the lead. Nice open track ahead of him, nice open track behind him. Blue skies, it's going very nicely for him at the moment. He just needs to make sure he doesn't put a foot wrong, because I think in the latter stages of this race, that skyline will be coming at him hard.
It's quite incredible how smooth he's able to drive that car. He's not unsettling the rear, not working the wheel too hard, and Alex as well, he's very similar. I know he did say again that the Skyline, you've got to be very sensitive with it in the corners. and yeah, make up for it on the straights.
Yeah, definitely. That Skyline, as long as you get that good exit on the straight, it looks like it's pretty much unbeatable. I mean, based on pure one-lap pace, that Skyline's sure the fastest car here.
I think so, yeah. I mean, qualifying, he absolutely walked it, didn't he?
Yeah.
No one had a chance at even getting close, so...
Yeah, but he needs to make sure he just keeps on doing the quick laps, because at the moment he's done a 1:28.8 on the last lap, but that's actually matched by Scuderia Sama 1:28.8, so he's not really pulling in at all. Look, it's still over 12 seconds the gap, and he's had a few laps now to try and catch. So it's quite surprising actually that gap stabilised. So Alex just needs to make sure he focuses on the exits with that Skyline and gets the main advantage of that car down the straight. The most speed he can get down the straight, the more chance he'll have of closing in.
Yes, yeah, and it's a Big Bad Wolf using all the circuit there. Avoiding going on the grass, so yeah, that's pretty good. Kicking the back end out there. That Cosworth, there we go again. It's like a real handful to drive, and as you say, he's still learning the circuit at the moment as well. So yeah, he must be having quite a laugh there. And his unfixed throne is reliable as ever, taking his time, sort of not causing too many waves through the field, nice and clean. He's consistent, if not spectacular, has to be said. He's been a bit unlucky the last few races, been caught up in other people's turn 1 incidents. And yeah, again, just having a nice race here, just keeping himself to himself and running a strong 4th place there.
Yeah, definitely. Strong 4th, as you said. He's 38 seconds off the lead, but he's only 10 seconds behind this man here, Stuart Davis, who is getting a bit leery in the chicane there with the back end coming out. Just needs to keep that BMW's rear end in check as he goes round the corners. A bit like the Skyline in a way, although it doesn't have the same punch out of it. But we see Stuart Davis there. Isn't quite the West Wales karting livery that we've been used to seeing, but I think it's the closest thing he could find for this one. But yeah, so he's in 3rd. He's still got his pit stop to make, of course. And then we've got unfixed roan behind. Chris Doherty, after making his stop, is in 5th, and he's catching the unfixed roan quite quickly, so we could see a battle there before long. And then the Big Bad Wolf and D-Man 221, they will be having a battle before long too, I think, as well, with just 10 seconds separating them. And then Stuart Davis now, he's coming in the pit lane. He's pitting from 3rd position, so we'll see where he comes back out. I think he'll be battling maybe Chris Doherty here.
Yeah, he's definitely, just watching the time screens, he was losing a lot of time to Chris, maybe 3/4 of a second a lap or so. So yeah, he's, there's unfixed throne going through, and Chris Doherty, yeah, he's only a few seconds behind, so that's, I think that move's done. And yeah, I think he just played a couple of laps too late. Yeah, Chris definitely had the legs on him, and whether or not he's going to come out behind Big Bad Wolf now, as he goes past in the crazy Cosworth.
Oh yes, look, that's a big surprise. The crazy Cosy has passed Stuart Davis.
Yeah, of course, Big Bad Wolf still yet to pit. However, that's going to be a bit of traffic that Stuart Davis isn't going to want to have to deal with.
Yeah, especially with treating the rear end of that Cosworth. Oh, look, Stuart Davis round. He's off the track. I was just about to say he has to watch the rear end of that Cosworth. Oh, and now Big Bad Wolf's off as well. He's bulldozing his way through the barriers here on the exit of the chicane, and someone else is off too. Oh, that's D-Man 221, and now he's round 2. There's absolute carnage at that hairpin.
Yeah, I'm not sure what D-Man 221's obviously got a bit of lag going on there. Whether or not he's affected by it, I don't know. But that was certainly a strange incident there, and he's using time hand over fist there over Stuart Davis. He's dropped 5 seconds back now. But again, like Chris, he had the legs on the BMW, so don't be surprised if he's able to pull him back in. And here's Chris Doherty. He's looking at the unfixed throne down into the last corner. Unfixed throne seeing him come in. He knows it's not really his fight today, and oh no, he holds his line. Fair play. That was well held around the outside there, but Chris should have a run on him now on the main straight.
Yeah, there we are. They're side by side now, halfway down the straight, and Chris has the inside line for turn 1. And turn 1 is one of the overtaken spots on this corner if you get a good run out the last corner. And there he is, he's through. And like you said, Stuart, I don't think Unfixed Throne will fight him too hard, but he did make it last a bit longer than maybe we were thinking it would.
Yeah, he's... well, we do know from recent races, the Daytona 500 Oval, for instance, he's... yeah, he really can put up a good fight, a good clean fight as well. So a lot of the drivers, if there's one man on the circuit, they don't mind racing, and are pretty sure that they can race close quarter, wheel to wheel with its unfixed throne. He's definitely not one for pulling moves that maybe aren't 100% on or anything like that. He's definitely one of the cleaner drivers out there.
Definitely, and it's actually relatively hard to do at this track, isn't it? Especially in Sector 3, because It's a very twisty circuit. It's got lots of camber changes, elevation changes, and everything, and the straights aren't even really straight, are they? So defending and placing your car is quite important here.
That's it, yeah. And a lot of these drivers, they all have access to different views. He's not in this race at the moment, but BTCC Dan, I know for instance, he actually uses the chase cam, which obviously gives you a view of the entire car and its surroundings. Some drivers prefer to run on the bonnet, which limits your visibility to quite literally just what's in front of your bonnet. And then other drivers, they prefer to use the cockpit camera for more, a lot of sim drivers would use that as well. And the view isn't too dissimilar to if you're actually sat in the car, so they do have sort of their mirrors, but that's pretty much all they've got in order to see what is around them. So a lot of the time you've got to be very careful about, think where the other car is, place your car accordingly, and a lot of the time, especially at the start of races, that's why we see so many incidents. But with Scuderia Sam, he's lost a couple of seconds to Alex CDL now. He is beginning to close in, not as quick as maybe we thought, but yeah, he's doing quite well there, Sam, considering he was a good couple of seconds off in qualifying. He's holding it together nicely.
Yeah, definitely. I think Alex ultimately has got the pace in that skyline to win this race still, even with 10 laps gone here now, and 10 laps to go, 21 laps. And he is now just over 9 seconds behind, but he just needs to keep doing what he's doing right now in this stage of the race. Alex does. He's putting in very fast laps. He's optimising that car down the straights. He's done a 1:28.0 on the last lap versus 1:29.7 for Scuderia Sam, so quite a poor lap for Sam there as well. So now he's just 9 seconds behind as Big Bad Wolf takes it for another spin on the grass, and it looks like he's actually just looking for the grass. Maybe it's quicker for him in that car. Bit of rallying.
Possibly. That is one of the most unstable cars I think I've seen in these races. That's up there with the Aston Martin from a few weeks back. And let's talk about unstable there. That's the BMW really being chucked around there. Fair play.
Yeah, Stuart Davis likes to get a car which he can take by the scruff of the neck, doesn't he? And really throw it around the corners like one of the modern touring cars, the front-wheel drive cars.
Yes, yeah, of course. There's unfixed throne in the pits there. Yeah, these aren't front-wheel drive as far as I'm aware. Yeah, they are kicking the back end out into turn one as well. Sometimes, even cars in the same class, you do need to drive each one slightly differently to maximise the lap time that you can get out of them. Unfixed throne should be well clear of Big Bad Wolf, who's now getting up to some sort of mischief somewhere on the circuit.
Yeah, I'm sure he's treating the fans to something very special indeed at some point on the track, even as we speak. And yes, as you said, Unfixed Rome now is in 6th position. He is about 13 seconds behind 5th, D-Man 221. As we see, oh look, it's Alex is in the pit lane now, in the Skyline, the blue Skyline, a classic livery. I think everyone's probably seen that livery on a Skyline somewhere before. And yeah, he's being serviced now by his virtual pit crew, and he's away again. So we'll see where he comes back out, and we'll see how far he will be behind Scuderia Sam. He was about 8 seconds, just over 8 seconds behind before his stop. So we'll see how that shakes out. And it's worth mentioning as well, for these cars at this track, they don't really need to change their tyres or take on any fuel, do they, Stuart?
No, the pit stop, it's purely a sporting regulation for this race. So yeah, no real fuel or tyre strategy. It's a case of just make your pit stop, get back out on the track as soon as you can, and yeah, get going again. And here's there's D-Man 221. He's got that gap down from 5 seconds to 2 seconds now, at 1.9 at the moment. So he's definitely closing in there. And Chris Doherty he's well down the road now and gone. I think third place pretty much set for Chris, barring any issue he may have. And yeah, he's D-Man 221. He's off that. He's pushing very hard. And yeah, round he goes. He's like I say, he's definitely got the legs on shore. Though 3/10 he gained on the last lap, so he's not reeling him in as such. And yeah, that's not going to help him for sure.
Yeah, I don't think these cars were designed for grass unless you're in the Cosworth. And there's Unfixed Throne. He's going around turn 1 now. And this sector here is all about really nailing that turn 3, because that is the hairpin. And the more speed you can get through that and out onto the straight, the better. Especially if you're in the Skyline, because the turbo lag on that is pretty heavy. So when you're going through the low speed corners like that hairpin, you need to keep pumping the throttle, or Alex was saying he needs to keep pumping the throttle to keep the turbo spooled up so he gets that benefit down the straight.
Yeah, he's going to be working that pretty hard. I know there was a bit of discussion a while ago, I think, again, it was back when we were racing the Astons, talking about trying a little bit of heel toe. Obviously, those using a pad wouldn't necessarily be able to do that. Yeah, well, they certainly could, but it'd be pretty fiddly. I know even just sort of using the manual gearbox, it's your hands are kept very busy on the pad. Those on the wheel, they do have a slight advantage, but a lot of the time, Scuderia Sam, he's on a pad, as is Stuart Davis, so yeah, they can certainly hang with the big boys who've got the rig set up. But it'd be interesting to see one day what, if they maybe do ever pick up a sim rig, what they'd be able to do. And of course, yeah, if you've got a wheel that happens to have the forward feedback, the force feedback even, yeah, you'll actually be able to feel sort of the oversteer kicking in, the wheel will actually fight against what you're trying to do. So, yeah, it's almost like driving a real car and steering wheel will fight against what the inputs that you're trying to put in. So, yeah, it is a bit of an advantage for the other drivers.
Yeah, especially when you're going over a curb, isn't it? And you can feel the vibration coming through a bit better and react to it. It's going to make a bit of a difference. And you see Chris Doherty going over the curb on the exit of turn 1 there. And it's quite easy to do that if you carry a little bit too much speed through there. And he now comes down the hill to turn 2. Take a late apex in this corner so you can get a slingshot there onto the short straight, which leads into the hairpin, where we've seen so much chaos already in this 14 lap race so far out of 21. And then there's Stuart Davis chasing very hard. He takes a similar line, but with the back end coming out a little bit more. And then he goes on his way there down towards the hairpin, and he's been followed by D-Man 221. And look how close he's getting now, just a couple of seconds, Stuart.
Yes, yeah, he's still about 2 seconds. Oh, really kicking the back end out there. He's going to be aware that D-Man's catching him. You'll see him getting bigger and bigger in the mirrors. He'll have the timing screen in the corner as well, just to notify him that he's coming. But yeah, he's already had one Mercedes give him hassle earlier in the race with Chris Doherty, and now he's got to deal with another one. And here he is through the chicane there.
Yeah, the Mercedes are a popular choice, I think, because of the stability that they have. You can see from watching some of the Mercedes drivers in this race how stable it is through that chicane, for example. And then they can get a good run out of there up this hill that Stuart Davis is heading up now, as we get a great shot there of a spit of flame from the exhaust around this double apex right-hander, which is the last but one corner here. And then the final corner is very difficult because you need to make sure you don't carry too much speed through it, or you'll end up in the gravel trap on the outside. And let's see how Stuart Davis does it. That's done very well indeed. That's a masterclass of how to take the last corner, and he heads over the line now to start another roller coaster of a lap here at Oulton Park.
Yeah, late on the brakes there, turning in. Try not to let the back end step out too much. You run a little bit wide there. Not too much. As long as you get on the power early, if you do miss the apex slightly, as long as you don't run too wide and get the power down, not too big of a deal. And here's Unfixed Zone just going through the last part of the lap there.
Yeah, and Stuart did a very good lap there actually. He was faster than the chasing D-Man 221, so but only by a couple of tenths. So it's very cat and mouse as those guys battle away for 4th and 5th in this race. And you can see Alex there on the grass in the background. He's pushing very hard. He's catching Scuderia Sam by, well, he did a 27.8 on the last lap. Scuderia Sam did a very handy 28.9, but it's still over a second slower than this man, with his pit stop still to come, of course. So he needs to monitor that gap and decide when he's going to pit. Otherwise, he might end up coming out behind and he'll have no chance of winning this race then.
Yes, yeah, definitely. It's and that's Unfixed Zone's round.
That nearly took out Alex.
That was close. That was very, very close. And Unfixed Zone, he's off again. There's Big Bad Wolf.
He just appears, doesn't he?
Oh, if there's carnage, the wolf is near. Fair play. That's why was I surprised? I don't know. But that was very, very lucky for Alex there. That could have really scuppered his chances of winning this race. But you got
and
through it.
There's Big
okay.
Bad Wolf off again.
Oh,
I think he might have spilt his tea there.
Possibly.
He's partial to a racing brew, and I'm sure this race is no different, although maybe he hasn't had the go faster one today. Maybe he's had the spinning one instead. But nah, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Sorry.
Maybe
Sorry,
he's
Big
had
Bad
coffee.
Wolf. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, dear.
And there's Scuderi Sam now. He's driving very consistently. He's doing low 29s on average, with creeping into the late 28s as well. And Alex, look, he's all over the place with his lap times. He did a 27.8 last time round, and now he's a 29.0. It seems to be very difficult for him to drive consistently in that Skyline, and that's what's given him a headache in terms of catching Scuderi Sam. He catches him a bit one lap, and then the next lap he's not really catching him.
Yes, yeah, and then another laps he has inconsiderate back markers spinning in front of him as well, which isn't going to help.
Absolutely.
But no, he held on to it there. I thought Sam had maybe dropped a couple of banana skins in there again, but no, it's just standard practice in the BMW there, I think.
Yeah, that's just Stewart's normal line, I think, through that corner. It's just to get the back end out, and I'm not sure, would he be struggling at all with front end grip in this BMW? Try and get the back end out to try and fire it out at the corner, a bit like you would in a front wheel drive touring car. Of course, these are rear wheel drive.
Well, from what we know, especially the way he drives well, a lot of cars on project cars, but also in the karting world, he's very susceptible to understeer handling cars and karts. He does prefer them to a certain degree, but because his driving style likes to actually induce the understeer himself, he does find if the front end won't grip, it is a problem that then just gets exacerbated by his driving style. So if he is struggling slightly, sometimes he may sort of look to overcompensate and kick the back end out just to get the car turned in. But either way, whatever he's doing, it's certainly allowing D-Man 221 up behind him. He's has a stonking lap of a 29.2 on the last one. So and here they are side by side going into the hairpin, and D-Man he's got the brakes on him, but as he's outbraked himself there, and Stewart's managed to hold the inside line around the hairpin, but D-Man should get a good drive now on the main straight.
Yes, it's a sensational battle here for 4th and 5th for Stuart Davis, covering the inside line every which way they go. And now D-Man's going around the outside, he's trying to make it stick, but I don't think he's going to make it round there, and he hasn't. And you can see that Mercedes menace in the back of that BMW, and now they're going up the hill with D-Man still in hot pursuit. And Stuart Davis putting up a very stern defence indeed. Over the crest they go. And there's hardly anything between them at all as they go into the last couple of corners here on lap 17 of 21. And I think D-Man will be looking at the back of that BMW sliding around, and every time it slides a bit he's going to be thinking he'll have an advantage here to try and get alongside on the straight. But as long as Stuart Davis keeps holding that inside line, he's going to find it difficult to get past.
Yes, yeah, it's a very narrow circuit, and well, the outside long way round's not normally the best place to go, especially with Stuart Davis. He's not a driver to just let anybody get through without putting up a fight, but this is where he's been a bit weakest, is down the hill now around turn 3, down towards the hairpin, and D-Man will be sniffing blood again now and be looking to get a good run out of here.
Yes, D-Man is a very quick driver, as we've seen, especially in the GT cars, and these are rear-wheel drive, so we'll see the drivers who prefer GT cars will be faster in these cars than they would be in front wheel. But he's outbraked himself, and he's hit the back of Stuart Davis, who's onto the grass, and he's facing into the barrier now, and he's found reverse gear. And where's D-Man? He's into 4th, but I think he's waiting, look, Stuart, so that's a very good bit of gentlemanly driving there.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, rightly so. But as you say, he didn't have to. The options are there to keep going. So yeah, the rules on this racing sim, they are a little bit iffy when it comes to contact. But no, he let Stuart back through there, and good sportsmanship between the two.
Yeah, absolutely, and good show there from D-Man 221. Clearly a mistake. He braked a little bit too late and rear-ended Stuart Davis in the chaos hairpin, and where all the action seems to be kicking off today. And so now the battle resumes. They've both lost time to 3rd place, but I don't think they're really in a battle for 3rd anyway. They're just in a battle with themselves today, aren't they?
I think so, yeah. But as Del Boy from the PS4 always says, hates finishing 4th. But that's the maximum these guys are going to get today, so they'll be fighting tooth and nail for it right the way to the finish, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Stuart Davis covers the inside line again, but I don't think D-Man's close enough into turn 1. And while all this has been going on, Scuderi Sam came into the pit lane, and he's exited, and he was 7 seconds ahead of Alex, so he lost about a second compared to before they pitted. But now Alex has closed in by 5. He's just 5 seconds behind now. Exactly 5 seconds, and that gap's coming down all the time. And there's just 2 more laps to go after this one, and now Stuart Davis is under pressure again, and D-Man 221 looks around the outside of the hairpin, but Stuart Davis holds the inside line, and he comes out of the corner, and he's defended off that threat once more for another lap around there. And I think that's definitely going to be where D-Man is looking to make a move into that corner, but I think Stuart Davis has him covered, so he might need to try and surprise him somewhere else.
Yeah, I think so. He's obviously, they know they're not going to catch Chris, so really lap times don't matter. They're safe behind from unfixed throne, so it's literally a case of just hold the position and fight all the way to the finish for it.
Yeah, Stuart is used to having a bit of pressure behind in the late stages of races, as we've seen throughout some of the virtual races that we've held so far. And this was just another situation, but no luck. D-Man 221. Oh, he's off. He's slammed the inside barrier and the outside barrier, but he's facing the right way again. But he's lost loads of time now to Stuart Davis, who comes round the last corner to start lap number 20 of 21. And that's just really rotten bit of luck there from D-Man 221. He was just pushing really hard, wasn't he? And it could have happened to either of them.
Oh yeah, they were definitely on the ragged edge as Big Bad Wolf is there. And yeah, really unfortunate for D-Man. I was really hoping he'd be able to take that fight all the way to the flag. And yeah, real shame there. But Stuart Davis will definitely be breathing a sigh of relief there.
And talking of being on the ragged edge, there's Big Bad Wolf there that Stuart Davis is coming up to. And talking about taking the fight all the way to the flag, as Alex CDL now is just 3.5 seconds. There he is, behind Scuderia Sam with... This is the last lap of the race, but he's catching all the while. And now that you can see them both in the same shot, there's Scuderia Sam in the red Mercedes, and Alex is flashing through in the background in the blue skyline. But this is the key overtaking spot, and you can see Alex is nowhere near close enough on this last lap to go into that hairpin and make a move, unless he does a Big Bad Wolf manoeuvre. But I don't think that's going to happen today, and now Scuderia Sam goes round the hairpin and accelerates out of it. But Alex is closing in rapidly. He's done a 27.5 on the last lap versus a 29.2 for Scuderia Sam, but now I think Scuderia Sam will know how far behind he is, and he just needs to not make an error on this last lap. But he's come under a great deal of pressure here in the closing stages.
Yes, yeah, there's Alex. I think he's a little mistake there. I think deep down he knows that Scuderia Sam's long gone, really. Not going to be able to catch him, and yeah, it's just all that carnage on lap 1 there. It's just cost him what was quite clearly looks like could have been an easy win, to be honest. But Scuderia Sam come around the penultimate corner now, and he hasn't put a foot wrong all day, to be fair. He's done what he's had to do. Got very fortunate at the start with the entire field wiping each other out, but you can only take on the opposition that's there in front of you, and today they were all miles behind him. Except Big Bad Wolf, he's behind him now.
Yeah, and Scuderia Sam crosses the line, takes the win today. Fantastic win ahead of Alex, who was the favourite, but got caught up in the carnage on the first lap. But fantastic comeback drive as well from Alex, who takes second position, just 3 seconds away from Scuderia Sam. And now we'll look to Chris Doherty, who was also caught up in the carnage. There he is, coming around the last corner, and he's going to claim the final spot on the podium, and he's only 21 seconds behind in the end, so a fantastic drive there from Chris. And then what's he doing? He's having a little bit of a hug with the wall there, the pit wall. Maybe he's trying to get to his virtual pit crew. Anyway, yeah, so he comes across the line third. Stuart Davis, after fending off D-Man 221, is going to come in fourth, and a fantastic drive from Stuart. He didn't have the pace today to challenge for the win, but he battled everyone he was around, and he comes around the last corner and he'll claim a very solid fourth position. And there's D-Man 221. It might be a case of what might have been for him today, one half of Team Island, and he's going to take fifth position. And there's the unfixed drone with a reliable race as ever in sixth place. And Big Bad Wolf, after going off at pretty much all the corners and a couple of laps down, finished in 7th. And that was a fantastic race there, Stuart.
Yeah, fantastic race. Nice to see so many different cars on the track, as well as all the different driving styles. But just look at that fastest lap from Alex. Phenomenal drive from him, and a case of what might have been.
Absolutely, and join us next time for another cracking race.